everyone, and welcome to, or welcome back to Tinderloss Gaming, and welcome to episode 6 of my campaign, The Drowned City, Arkham Horror LCG from Fantasy Flight Games. I've got a feeling, I think we're over halfway there now, so we're getting there, episode 6, but without further ado, let's get across to the table and see what's going on. Right, here we are at the table. I thought I'd put my green t-shirt on today, sort of in keeping with the theme. So before we start, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's watching this campaign. It's really doing well on the channel. My very first video, episode 1, is the very first video I've had over 1,000 views on it. So I was well chuffed with that. So thank you all very much for watching the videos. And thank you all for the feedback. Lots of comments in the episodes I've played through so far. The main thing though, and I have a sincere apology to make, is I don't seem to read the cards. So my apologies. I will do my level best today to read all of the cards, read what's going on. But when you're recording, trying to narrate a little bit as well and also play the game, it can be a bit overwhelming, and it's quite a complicated game as well. I don't do it on purpose, and any mistakes I do make, don't do them on purpose. But thank you for the feedback. I really appreciate it. And there was a few comments which really listed some of the stuff that I've missed. So today I'm hopefully going to be laser focused on understanding and reading all the cards, not doing that gamer thing, which is where you read the bit you really like and then you ignore the rest. I am very, very guilty of that, so apologies, and I apologise in advance for any mistakes I make in this scenario. So this is scenario 6, and it's called the Court of Ancients. But before we do that, we've got a couple of little bits to work through. Had some XP to spend from the last scenario. Agatha only had 1, so she hasn't spent that. She's going to keep that in the bank. Michael had 3, and it's quite a simple swap for him. He's taking the level 0 watch this out, and he's replacing it with the level 3 version. It's exactly the same card, as in when you commit to a test, you can spend up to 3 resources. If you succeed by 1 or more, you get twice that many resources back. The difference is there are 3 wild icons on this watch this, rather than the will, the fight, the agility on that. So it makes it a bit more, a bit more versatile is the word I was looking for. So watch this is coming out, and level 3 versions going into Michael's deck. And I think that's it. We'll come to the rest of the stuff and the scenario in a sec. So let's read what Court of Ancients says in the book. So check your campaign log. If the expedition headed west, which we did, proceed to Court of Ancients 1. Time seems to slip away as you follow the dark tunnels out of the heart of the city. Eventually, the constant churn and thrum of machinery melts away, replaced by an ominous silence. Andy has only just proposed that you turn around to find another route when the endless stairs come to a stop. An intricately carved door is set in the ceiling above you. Pressing a panel in its centre reveals a vast, airy structure that vaguely resembles the nave of some ancient alien cathedral. A towering lift dominates the centre, surrounded by spiralling ringed floors. The walls are covered in countless alien glyphs pulsing with green light. You wonder if the Great Archive might hold anything valuable. Add a cultist token to the Chaos bag for the remainder of the campaign. If any investigator has plumbed the depths tasks, they resolve the respective story to the right. Obviously, Agatha has got plumbed the depths, so let's read that. Oops. You can't help but marvel at the austere grandeur of the ancient structure. Was this an ancient palace, a library, a place of worship. The intricate murals on the wall are a blend of pictograph and alien writing, depicting an ancient migration across the stars. The glyphs glow with a flickering green light, chronicling unknowable histories, ancient secrets hidden from mankind. One image, a nightmarescape of oceanic horrors and sunken cities, catches your attention. You press the eye of a particular disturbing creature and feel a rush of ancient memories, thoughts and feelings of an alien being, images of a Stygian depths of some distant planet overwhelm your consciousness. The memories give way to clearer, more defined facts, dates, a history recorded by a prehistoric civilization. You begin to feel yourself slip away as though your consciousness was being drawn through a sieve. There is much more you could learn, but should you? You must decide, choose one, look away. Erase one progress and plumb the depths in your campaign log. Each investigator begins the next scenario with one clue from the token pool. Or 2, seek the truth. Mark 2 progress under plumb the depths in your campaign log and suffer 1 mental trauma. The investigator begins the scenario with 1 fewer cards in their opening hand. I think Agatha is after the knowledge. So I will mark 2 progress under plumb the depths. That takes us to 4. We suffer a mental trauma. So she's going to be down to 7. Mental trauma, I'll tick that there so we know that. We'll do that now actually. Down to 7. So we've got that in hand. Michael has started with a physical trauma, so he's down from 8. He's down from 9 to 8, starting with 8. And we must remember when Agatha draws her opening hand, she's only drawing 4, not 5. Proceed to setup. Gather all cards from the following encounter sets: Court of the Ancients, Domination, Dreams, Elder Mist, The Inescapable, Rylea and the Starspawn. Put the Twisting Catwalks, West Antechamber, East Antechamber and Ancient Altar locations into play according to the location diagram on page 27, which is what we've done here. So we've got the West Chamber here, the Great Lift, the East Antechamber, the Ancient Altar, and then we've got 2 lots of crumbling archives going up. This is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. At the top we've got the Twisting Catwalks, and here we've got 3 crumbling archives. So shuffle each copy of Crumbling Archives and remove 1 from the game, and then put the remaining copies into play as shown in the locations. I've already done that. Check your campaign log if we headed west. Put the Great Lift location into play on level 1, inactive, side face up. Gather all cards from the Stowaway encounter set. This is indicated by the following. That's that one there. Build the agenda deck using 1A, Ruined Archives, and 2A, Unstable Foundations, and Act 1A, Steps of Giants, 2A, Escape the Tower. Search the Starspawn encounter set for the Starspawn Observer enemy and set it aside, which is what I've done. Remove 2 other cards from the Starspawn encounter set from the game at random, done that as well. Each investigator begins play at the East Antechamber, which is here. Then it says about heading east. We've done that. We don't need to worry about that. Set the Shard of Ylak, which is this thing here, and the Colossal Tyrant enemy outside our play. Oh, I don't know if I've done that. Colossal Tyrant. Is he in there? Oh, he is in there. Whoa, let's get him out. Check your campaign log. If the creature was defeated, remove the inescapable encounter set, which shows what I've done. In player order, each player may choose one earned artifact or an item from the expedition encounter set. I've chosen for Michael to stick with Ruby Standish, the ally. She comes into play under my control. She gives me +1 agility, but more importantly, if there's no ready enemies, I can exhaust her to move to a connecting location. She's really good. And she's got 2 health, 2 sanity soak. I've stuck with the expedition gear, or gone back to the expedition gear for Agatha. Let's move those. It comes in with 3 supplies, and I can use an action to heal a damage, which might come in handy. We begin at the East Antechamber, as I've said. Shuffle the remaining encounter cards to build the encounter stowaway deck. You are now ready to begin. Okay. Great lift and sliding locations. During this scenario, the investigators will need to use the Great Lift to explore other levels of the tower. Locations are not connected to one another except via the Great Lift, their connecting icons, or certain card effects. So I would assume we've got to sort of go up and down the levels. The Great Lift is only connected to the locations to the left or to the right of it, and vice versa. When instructed to slide the Great Lift up or down, move the Great Lift to the level above or below its current level. The Great Lift cannot move above level 4 or below level 1. When the Great Lift moves, each card and token at the location moves with it. And I think we're done. I just need to grab the Stowaways encounter set, because that needs to go in. I'll shuffle up, shuffle, 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 and then we will get ready to start. Actually, before I finish, let's have a look at the agenda. Ruined Archives. This has got a Doom level of 6 on it. The massive tower rises above you, promising enticing knowledge and forbidden truths. However, the imminent peril of navigating the ancient crumbling structure comes into sharp focus as a chunk of obsidian crashes down nearby. For all its grandeur, you're not safe here. Well, I think we pretty much worked that out as we've been going through. So that's got 6 Doom on it. And then we've got Steps of Giants, Act 1. The halls and tall ceilings are divided into massive stacks like the shelves of a library. There is so much you could learn here. Action: spend 2 clues, 1 per investigator. Discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck, 8 cards if there's only 1 investigator. Draw 1 glyph card discarded by this effect. Then, 1 at a time, draw each omen card discarded by this effect. Objective: after the Great Lift flips to its active side, immediately advance. The Great Lift, on its inactive side, comes in with 2 clues, 1 per investigator. It's a shroud of 2. The Great Lift cannot move, and it's connected to the locations to the left and right of it, and vice versa. Forced: when the last clue is discovered from this location, flip Great Lift, keeping all tokens and attachments. Okay. Court of Ancients. The skull is -X, where X is the number of glyphs cards in the victory display. Right, here we are at the table, all set up. We've got some bits to do contractually, as per the Tindlos contract. We've got a shuffle on screen. And again, section 2 under cat weasel cuts. We have to do a cat weasel cut. So that's the encounter deck all sorted. We will give Agatha shuffle. As I mentioned earlier, I will do my level best not to make any mistakes and to read all of the cards. Not promising anything, but we'll do our level best to do that. Cat weasel cut. Agatha done. And then finally, 2 decks for Michael. He's got his normal deck, and then he's got his Underworld Market deck. So, the idea here, Step of Giants, it says spend 2 clues, 1 per investigator, discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck, draw 1 glyph card discarded by this effect, then 1 at a time draw each omen card discarded by this effect. That's an action. Objective, after the Great Lift flips to its active side, immediately advance. The Great Lift's here, 2 clues on it. 2 clues, 1 per investigator, 2 shroud. Is connected to the left and right locations. When the last clue is discovered from this location, flip it, keeping all tokens and attachments. The ancient altar over here, we can't enter that. It says you cannot enter this location unless there are 3 or more glyph cards in the victory display. As an additional cost to enter the ancient altar, investigators at East Chamber must spend 4 clues per investigator as a group. So we need 8 clues to try and get into that. I don't know about that. Yeah, I think we're good to go. We start off at the East Antechamber. I'll do all that in a sec. Let's draw our opening hand. Let's get some opening hands going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. 4 for Agatha. 4. We've got a fingerprint kit, which is definitely a keep. Our higher education can go. Crack the case can go. And I think I'm going to keep burning the midnight oil. So we're going to draw into a magnifying glass and an Eyes of the Dreamer. We have not seen the ocular for Agatha for a while, so it would be really nice to try and get that at some point. But not a bad opening hand. We've got our fingerprint kit, which is very punchy price-wise. We don't shuffle the Underworld Market deck, or don't get cards out of that, because it's not the start of our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously for Michael, there are guns in this part of the deck. So what have we got? We've got an Opportunist. We've got a Contraband, which is very nice. We've got a Robert Gaston. We've got a Watch This, and we've got a Quick Thinking. The Watch This is the upgraded version. I think it might be worth keeping that and Contraband. And drawing 3 more cards. 1, 2, 3. We have got a Lucky Cigarette Case, an Overpower, a Cursed Follower. You can do one. And a Crack Shot. Okay, not too bad. So with Michael, we've got Crack Shot, Lucky Cigarette Case, Overpower, Watch This, and a Contraband. And no Accursed Follower, thank goodness. Alrighty. Alrighty. We will flip over the east antechamber, see what's on the other side. So this is a shroud of three. Two clues on it. And it says as a reaction, during your turn, investigators at this location spend 2 clues, 1 per investigator as a group, 2 clues if it's flooded. Slide the great lift down once. So we can slide from the east antechamber, we can slide it down. But it's got 2 clues on it, which is very nice for Agatha. Okay. Well, I think it would be remiss not to. So first action, spend 5 to play the fingerprint kit. Comes in with 3 supplies on it. I'm not entirely sure we want to waste that yet, because you get 2 additional clues. I'd be losing 1. Second action, oh no, we've got no resources. We'd be going 4 against 3. Not great odds. I think setup. Second action, gain a resource. Third action, play magnifying glass. Always a bit nervous. Well, I mean, obviously, in most games of Arkham Horror, to get through the act as quickly as possible is always a good thing. These are always blind playthroughs for me. Haven't played this before, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm thinking if I can't go into the ancient altar, it'd be nice to see what's in the west chamber. I'm assuming it's going to do something similar. And then after that, we can get to the Great Lift maybe. So that is Agatha done. Start of Michael's turn. He's going to get his 2 cards from Underworld Market. And he's getting a 25 automatic or a 41 Derringer. Now, this is where I've been going wrong previously. And thank you very much to everybody that's pointed it out. 25 automatic's not quite as good as I thought it was, because I've done that classic gamer thing of not reading the whole card. The enemy, to get +2 and deal +1 damage, the enemy has to be exhausted. And Michael's not overly great at that. The Derringer, it's got 3 ammo. You get +2 fight for this attack. If you succeed by 2 or more, you deal +1 damage. So I think I will pay 1 to pick up the Derringer. That goes to the bottom of the illicit deck. Market deck as it's called. So that comes into hand. No actions to do that. But it has cost us some resources. I think again, slight setup turn. First action, gain a resource, back to 5. Second action, spend 2, down to 3, to play the lucky cigarette case. Third action, spend 3, to play the Derringer. Comes in with 3 ammo, and I have actually managed to dig out my LCG ammo tokens, which will hopefully help with any shenanigans that's going on. So that's Michael done. A little bit of setup, but not too bad. Enemy phase, no enemies in play. Upkeep phase, we reset our actions back to 0. Ready any exhausted cards? We haven't got any. We draw a card and gain a resource. So Agatha's going to gain a resource back to 1. Michael's going to gain a resource back to 1. Michael draws a card. He's going to get another overpower. Agatha's going to draw a card and she's going to get deep knowledge. That could help cycling through for her ocular. We ready up. We check our hand sizes. We're way below 8, so we're all good. And we go to the top of the turn, Mythos phase. We place a Doom, 1 of 6, onto the agenda. And we draw a card. We're always going to start with Agatha. So she's going to draw a card from the encounter deck. Let's see how this is going. Cyclopean architecture. So she is going to be testing her intellect. X is the locations printed shroud. So that's 3. 3 versus 4. And for each point you fail, by choose and discard 1 card from your hand to a maximum of 3. So she's currently 5 versus 3 with the magnifying glass. I am going to chuck an Eyes of the Dreamer to make it 6 versus 3. 4, 5, 6 for Eyes of the Dreamer, Shroud of 3. 6 versus 3. How is the Chaos bag today? Well, I never. +2, you may cancel this token and draw another one in its place. If you do, draw 1 card. Would have been maybe useful later on in the game, but I don't think I'm gonna. Or do I? What am I going to be playing this turn? I'm probably going to be playing Investigator, Burning the Midnight Oil. Which means I could play that again. I think I'm gonna. So we're going to cancel that. And we're going to draw another one. 6 versus 3. -1. We are successful. Which means we don't fail there. And actually we've got an auto pass in our as a cancel token, which is nice. Yeah. Michael. He is getting Ruined Orrery Glyph. If this treachery is drawn from the encounter discard pile, attach it to your location, otherwise discard it and it gains search. Action, test intellect 3. If you succeed, record that under your glyph. Oh, okay. That's victory 1. Add this card to the victory display. Ooh. Oh, very nice. Let's just move the Great Lift over a second and we can put that there. That's just changed things up a little bit. That has just changed things up a little bit. Okay. To the investigator phase. Let's go with Agatha, who for her first action is going to test her intellect here, 3. She's currently 5. No, she's not investigating. She's not investigating, so she's 4. But I will use the card that, or the token that I sealed. No, my apologies. I didn't seal it. I cancelled it. You may cancel this token and draw another. So we don't, that's fine. That's fine. So we don't auto pass it. And we drew another token anyway. You may cancel this token and draw another card, not seal it. Sealing it is putting it, away like I just did. My apologies. Read the cards, MB. Read the cards. So, she is currently 4 versus 3 against this test. I'll play a deep knowledge to make it 5 versus 3. 5 versus 3. -2 or better. -2 or better. The number of glyph cards. X is the number of glyph cards in your victory display. So 0. We get it. We're successful. Deep knowledge goes. I have cancelled a card this round. Going back to the sign that was the elder sign that was brought out, I cancelled it. So that has triggered Agatha's ability. But we've done this. Let's get me. Where's my bits and bobs gone? Here they are. So we're looking for that symbol. We're looking for that symbol. These are quite difficult to... Yeah, it's that one there. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, but it's Yichlik. Yichlik. Yeah, it's definitely that one. Okay. Done that. That goes to the victory display. We'll put that up there. Sorry if it's shining. Not a lot I can do about that. So that's good. So that was Agatha's first action. Do I want to burn a fingerprint kit? Do I want to burn a fingerprint kit just to clear those 2 off? That would be my second action. Third action, I could move to the Great Lift. Yeah. I think I'm going to do that. Second action is to use a fingerprint kit. Exhaust fingerprint kit. Another little handy dandy exhaust from LCG tokens. Exhaust fingerprint kit, spend 1 supply, investigate. You get +2 for this investigation. And if you succeed, you discover 2 or more clues at your location. So I'm currently 4 5, 6, 7 versus 3. We'll stick at that. 7 versus 3. -1 again. So we would have got 3 clues. We've got 2 clues. Which does mean we've got the action on Steps of the Giant in play if we want it. Discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. Draw 1 glyph card, which are these things here, I think, by the looks of it. That's an action. No, I think I'm going to stick with my original plan. Third action, Agatha's going to move across to the Great Lift. As her turn ends, when your turn ends, if you sealed, cancelled or ignored 1 or more chaos tokens this round, which we did at the top of the round with the Mythos phase, play a spell or insight event from your discard pile. After the event resolves, remove it from the game. We will play our Deep Knowledge, which puts 2 curse tokens into the chaos bag. Investigators at your location draw a combined total of 3 cards. Agatha's going to draw all 3 of those, and then Deep Knowledge is removed from the game. So 1, 2, 3 cards for Agatha, and we've got a backpack, we've got to burn the midnight oil, and we've got to crack the case. Also, we'll have to take 1 off of Plumb the Depths because she cleared all the clues off of the East Antechamber. And I think that is Agatha done. Michael's turn. Got a couple of overpowers, a crack shot. Got a gun in play. Got no money to buy contraband yet. So, first things first, Underworld Market. Top 2 cards. We've got a Chicago typewriter. And we've got a fence. Oh. Chicago typewriter is going to go to the bottom of the deck if I don't buy it now. Or spend my 1 resource to take it and have it in my hand. Fence, though, is so good when you've got enemies in play and you run out of ammo. Getting that in as a fast action is good as well, and it's only 3. Oh, that's a tricky one. I am going to pay 1. I'm going to take the fence. That might be the wrong move. That might be the wrong move. But you never know. So we now go to his turn properly. I'm going to exhaust Ruby. Ruby says, as a reaction, if there are no ready enemies at your location, exhaust Ruby, move to a connecting location. Michael is going to stick with Agatha. So no actions used so far. 4 versus 2. What I'm thinking is a bit risky. We've got to watch this in play. So what I was thinking is spending my first 2 actions to gain 2 resources, taking me up to 2. Third action to investigate, chucking watch this in, ditching my 2 resources and gambling, and I'm going 4 against 2. I'm going 4 against 2. To give me some resources and get a clue. Or fence is 3, contraband is 4, and then the rest are event and skill cards. I could gain 3 resources and play fence next turn, or I could do the gamble thing and have 4. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do it. So first 2 actions. Gain 2 resources. Third action is to investigate the Great Lift. I will put a watch this in to take me to 4, so it's 4 versus 2, and I'll spend 2 of my resources to see if we can double our money. I could chuck a contraband in to make it 5 versus 2, but I really want to keep contraband. So we're going 4 against 2. What's the worst that could happen? 4 against 2. -2. 4 against 2, -2. We succeed. We get a clue off the Great Lift. And then we get double our resources back. So we're at 4 resources. And our 3 XP watch this has done its job. And that's it for Michael. That's it. I'm just keeping an eye on my monitor because I noticed last time round the flipping mic died towards the end. So I'm just making sure I've still got audio going in. Don't want to be recording for 2.5 hours and an hour of it is dead space. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. We go to the enemy phase. No enemies in play. We go to the upkeep phase. We get our actions back. We ready any exhausted cards. So fingerprint kit and Ruby Standish come back online. Keep those there just in case we need them later. We gain a resource. Agatha goes up to 2. Michael goes up to 5. Michael draws a card. He gets his weakness. Parasitic transformation. Revelation. Put parasitic transformation into play in your threat area forced. After an enemy engages you, place 1 doom on parasitic transformation. 2 actions to discard it. Well, I suppose at least it's out early. Agatha's going to draw a guidance. Okay. I think that's it. Hand size, we're all good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Michael, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top of the turn, we place 1 doom on the agenda. 2 of 6. Agatha draws her card. Oppressive influence. Test will X. So that's 2. If you fail, take 2 horror. We are a will of 4. So we're 4 versus 2. We've got a guidance, which is a will and a wild card. So that would take us to 6 versus 2. We can always pull that back. Yep. We'll take 6 versus 2. 6 versus 2. -1. We pass. Michael's card. Oh, here we go. Stowaway drone. 2 fight. 1 health. 2 to evade. Aloof. Patrol. Nearest other enemy with no doom on it. Forced. When an enemy phase ends, place 1 doom on another non-elite enemy at this location, then discard stowaway drone. But it's aloof. Right. Investigator's turn. Agatha, for her first action, is going to move to the west antechamber. We'll flip that over. Shroud of 3, 2 clues on it. And during your turn, we can spend 2 clues, one per investigator, 2 clues as a group. Slide the Great Lift down once. So that was her first action. Second action. We'll investigate using Burning the Midnight Oil. When this action begins, gain 2 resources. So we go up to 4. We don't get the pips, but what we are is we are 4, 5. 5 against 3. We'll stick with that. 5 against 3. Yeah, 5 against 3. Cultist, -2. -4 if there is a stowaway enemy at your location. There is the stowaway drone. So we've... Oh, no, we're not. What am I talking about? I'm at the West Antechamber. The stowaway drone's at the Great Lift. So -2. 4 against 3. No, 5 against 3. -2. We pass. We get a clue. Third and final action. We'll investigate using burning the midnight oil. We'll get 2 resources for that. We are going 5 against 3 again. Oh, -2. Oh. This needs to be a 0 or a plus. It's a -1 with the glyph over there in the victory display, so we fail. That goes though. We fail, unfortunately. That was Agatha's third turn. Third action. Can't play Crack the Case, which is a bit frustrating. Michael's turn's going to be fairly straightforward. 2 actions to get rid of this parasitic transformation. Third action. I think at this point, third action, we pay 3, so we're down to 2, down from 5, to play fence. Get that out. Get that out. Remembered I've got lucky cigarette case, and I think I got it by 2. But my fault for not remembering it. And that's Michael's third action. Okay. Enemy phase. Stowaway drone is aloof. Patrol. Nearest other enemy with no doom on it. No other enemies in play. When the enemy phase ends, place 1 doom on another non-elite enemy at this location. Then discard stowaway drone. There isn't... we can't do that. So I believe he just stays there because we can't complete the whole thing. So I would say he just stays there. When the enemy phase ends, place 1 doom on another non-elite enemy at this location. Full stop. Then discard stowaway drone. Oh, I'm going to need to just double check that. That's a good job I checked. You do discard it. That's what Google is telling me. So it says when the enemy phase ends, place 1 doom on another non-elite enemy at this location, full stop, then discard stowaway drone. We can't do the first bit, but we certainly can do the second bit. Okay. That's it for the enemy phase. We move to the investigator phase. We ready our actions. Back to 3 actions. We exhaust, ready any exhausted cards. We haven't got any. Agatha's going to gain a resource. She's up to 7. Michael's going to gain a resource. He's up to 3. Michael's going to draw a card. He's getting Joey the Rat. Not going to replace Ruby, unfortunately. Joey's really not getting a look at in this campaign because Ruby's just so good. And Agatha is going to get another guidance. Another guidance. Top of the turn. We're all good for cards. Michael's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's good. Top of the turn, we go and place a doom on the agenda. 3 of 6. We draw a card, an encounter card. This is Agatha's. Ancient Vault. If this treachery is drawn from the encounter card discard pile, attach it to your location. Otherwise, discard it and it gains search. If this treachery is drawn from the encounter discard pile, attach it to your location. Oh, unfortunately, we can't get that, but it does gain search. Oh, okay. Winged Keeper. Alert. Highest level with no investigators. Okay. Prey is the lowest agility. Force. When the enemy phase begins, if this enemy is ready and unengaged, it moves to its prey's location. So we'll put it up at the Twisted Catwalks. Right. That was Agatha. Drawn the Ancient Vault and then the Winged Keeper. Michael is going to get Corrosive Fog. Test intellect or fight 4. If you fail, take 1 damage. If you fail by 3 or more, instead take 1 direct damage to your investigator and each ally and asset item you control with health. Okay. So we're 5. 5 versus 4. 5 versus 4. I'll put in an overpower. So we are 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. Seven versus 4. We're successful. 7 versus 4. So first of all, we're successful. Overpower lets us draw a card. We draw another crack shot. And I'm not going to forget the lucky cigarette case because we did succeed by 2 or more. So we're going to exhaust that to draw a card. We get an unexpected courage. Very nice. So 2 crack shots, contraband, etc., etc. Investigator phase. Investigator phase. We'll start off with Agatha. First action to investigate. So she is 5 versus 3. Not great. I'm going to make it 6 versus 3 with the guidance. 7 versus 3. 6 versus 3, sorry. 6 versus 3. -4. Fail. Fail. Second action. Investigate. Going to put a crack the case in there to make it 4, 5, 6 versus 3 again. I was hoping to keep that. 6 versus 3. -1. We are successful. We get the last clue off of here, which means we do a plumb the depths. Now I've got a couple of choices. We've got 4 clues now. We could do the action on here to spend 2 clues to discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck to see if we can get one of these glyphs. Or I could spend 2 to play backpack, look at the top 6 cards to see if we've got the ocular in the top 6. And I think for me at the moment, that's probably where we want to be. I think that's probably where we want to be. So third action, spend 2, so I'm down to 5 to play the backpack. Top 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the whole reason the backpack's in there, so I don't know why I'm not doing it. So we've got item or supply, we've got a deduction, we've got a higher talent, we've got an emergency cash, we've got a perception, we've got a Milan Christopher, and we've got a parasitic transformation. So not great. Item or supply. So we'll attach the emergency cash to the backpack. And then we shuffle our deck. Where has the ocular gone? Is it still in there? Is it still in there? That was Agatha's third action. Michael's turn. We're going to get the underworld market. We've got the Derringer and we've got the Thompson. Thompson's obviously good for taking other enemies out. It's 5 cost, but it's a 2-handed 45. I think I'm going to spend 1 resource to take the Derringer. Okay. I'm trying to think about getting set up. Whilst, because we've got the Winged Keeper about to come in. first 2 actions to gain 2 resources, 2 to 4. Third action, play a contraband for 4. Double the number of ammo or supply tokens on that asset. I'm obviously choosing the Derringer, so we double the number, so we get another 3. That gives us 6 shots with the Derringer, which is quite nice. That was my third action. That's fast. Fence makes it fast, so I've still got an action left. I've still got an action. Oh no, contraband is not playing a. It's not playing a gun, is it? It's just when you play an illicit card. Contraband is illicit. Oh, nice. Yeah. When you play an illicit card during your turn, exhaust fence will exhaust fence. It gains fast. That illicit card gains fast. If it was already fast, reduce the cost of it by 1. It's not fast, but it is supply illicit. Excellent. Well, it really helps when you read all the cards, all the stuff on the cards. So we've got an action left. Do I want to stay at the Great Lift? Well, I think I'm going to have to. I could move with Ruby, but I don't think I want to. Agatha's going to be coming along to hopefully hoover up this last clue. I've got no resources. Good money's going out of the window. Last action. I'll gain another resource. Take me to 1. Start saving up for my other Derringer. Okay. Enemy phase. We've got the Winged Keeper. Prey is the lowest agility. Well, I think it's the lowest printed agility, because obviously I've got 3 here, 3 here, which means they're even. Ruby Standard, she's given me a +1. Let me check. Arkham Horror LCG. The keyword prey, lowest agility. Does that mean the printed agility on a character card, or is that with any other additional card pluses? Arkham Horror LCG. The prey keyword states lowest agility. Is that the character's printed agility without any buffs? Oh. Right, Mythos phase. We put 1 on there, 5 of 6. Agatha's going to draw a card. She's got Drawn to Darkness. Put Drawn to Darkness into play in your threat area. Limit 1 per investigator. Your maximum hand size is reduced to 3. She's got 1. When your turn ends, if you've got no cards in hand, discard Drawn to Darkness. Okay, that's giving her a little bit of a priority. What have I got in hand? A perception. Okay. doable. And Michael is going to get corrosive fog. Test intellect or fight 4. If you fail, take 1 damage. If you fail by 3 or more, instead take 1 direct damage to your investigator and each ally. Oh, that's going to kill Ruby if we fail by 3 or more. So we're going to go fight, obviously. 5 versus 4. I've got the auto. I'll put in a Derringer to make it 6 versus 4. 6 versus 4. Six versus 4 plus 1. We're successful. So that makes it 7 versus 4. We do succeed by 2 or more. So I will exhaust the lucky cigarette case to draw a card. I spent 1 ammo here, so I should have 1 more resource. I keep forgetting that. And we've got swift reflexes. Swift reflexes. We go there, like so. 12 health on that colossal tyrant. But geez. Okay. Let's start off with Agatha. She will go left to this crumbling archives here. Oh, no. Because she'll take an attack of opportunity from the colossal tyrant. Do we start off with Michael? Versus 3. 5 versus 3. Oh, okay. We could do that. Right. First action is to spend a resource or fight with the Derringer, giving me +1 once per round. So we've done that. Fighting the colossal tyrant. I'm 5, 6, 7. And I will play a crack shot to make me 10 versus 3. 10 versus 3. 10 versus 3 +1. 11 versus 3. We clearly hit it by 2, so we beat it by 2. So we do +1 damage. So we do 2 damage to it. Second action, shoot it with a derringer. Crack shot to make it 10 versus 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 versus 3. 0. We do 2 more damage to it. So it's now taken 4 damage. Third action, I'm going to try and evade it. I'm 4, it's 3. I'll put swift reflexes and where's the party to make me 7 versus 3. So 3 from here, 3 from here, 1 from here. 7 versus 3. Minus 3. 7 versus 3 takes us down to 4 versus 3. We are successful. We evade it. That's Michael's turn. We are going to stay there. We could exhaust Ruby to move to a connecting location, but there's no point. We'll move across to Agatha's turn. Now she can move. Agatha's going to move to this crumbling archives here. Ouch. 2 clues per investigator, or 1 clue per investigator. It's a shroud of 5, but it gets this location has -1 shroud for each glyph in the victory display, so that's -1. Oh, Jesus. Forced. When this location is revealed, spawn the set-aside star spawn observer at this location. Aloof, hunter, prey, highest intellect. When you reveal an elder sign token while investigating the star spawn's location, it immediately engages you and makes an attack. So let's just move this across a little bit so we can try and keep some demarcation. So the star spawn has spawned there, but it's aloof. And it's got action here, move to a revealed passageway location. There's no other passageways revealed yet. That was Agatha's first action, just to move. Her second action is going to be to investigate with the fingerprint kit. So she's 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 versus 4. I'll put perception in to make it 9 versus 4. 9 versus 4. 0. We are successful, so we get the 2 clues. We would have got 3, but you know, there it is. We take 1 off the plumb the depths. We draw a card for perception. Higher education. Not the best draw. Didn't really want to do that, actually. Because we're drawn to darkness, but there we go. Doesn't say may, it says draw. So you've got to draw it. One action left for Agatha. So clearly I think she's going to just have to move back across to the Great Lift. Ooh. What we could do is try and leave the star spawn observer there. Because what we've got here on the Great Lift is it says when you successfully investigate the location, instead of discovering clues. No, you've got to, yeah, it's the whole thing. I was thinking you could just spend clues to do it, but then you may spend one clue to slide the lift up and down one additional time. So can't do that. But she's going to stay there. We're going to do that. Okay, we're going to move to the enemy phase. This one's going to move across into the Great Lift. That's quite a tight lift with the star spawn observer and the colossal tyrant in there. Anywho, it's aloof, so we don't need to worry about that. So then we go to the upkeep phase because this is not readying yet. We reset our actions back to 0. We then ready all exhausted cards. So lucky cigarette case ready. Now when an enemy phase ends, if there are no investigators, there was an investigator at the location. Michael was there, so we don't need to worry about that. We ready? Exhaust the colossal tyrant. Let's put those two up there like that. They're in the Great Lift with us. We're going to gain a resource. Agatha's up to 8. Michael's up to 6. Michael is going to draw a card. He's going to get quick thinking. Agatha is going to draw a card. She's getting promise of power. Okay. We're going to go across. We're all good for cards. 2 here, 2 there. We go to the mythos phase. We put our 6th doom on the agenda. So those 5 come off. Trying to keep my tokens all nice and neat so I don't have to muck around with them. And then we're going to flip the agenda. Records of alien histories. As supernatural winds howl outside, the tower groans and sways like an ancient tree weathering the storm. You steady yourself against the pillar, hoping to wait out the tremor. Suddenly you feel the pillar loosen. Stepping away, you watch the intricately carved pillow tumble down to the bottom far below. Shuffle each omen and glyph card in the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Omen or glyph. Just the one. which was Ancient Vault. Omen or Glyph. Let's just double check. Terror, Hazard, Hazard, Monster Keeper, Terror, Hazard, Monster Stowaway, Power. Just the Ancient Vault, which is a glyph. I don't think we're getting this Ancient Altar anytime soon. Just don't. Is it? I don't know whether. Let me know in the comments for you guys and girls that have played Drowned City, but I'm struggling to get these. I must admit. Maybe I'm playing it wrong. So we now move to Agenda 2A, Unstable Foundations. The tower grows, 8 doom on it. The tower groans as Rylea continues to slow length from the depth. Continues its slow ascent from the depths of the ocean. During the enemy phase, each location is considered to be connected to the location above and below it. Forced. After the Great Lift moves, each investigator at the Great Lift must test Agility 2. If they fail, they take 1 damage. Okay. We draw an encounter card for Agatha. Oh, here we go. Coral Starspawn. 3 fight, 5 health, 3 to evade. Hunter, Relentless Prey, Highest Will. When Coral Starspawn has damage on it, it gains Alert and Retaliate. When you reveal a Elder Sign token while fighting and evading this enemy, take 1 damage. Victory 1. And it engages with Agatha. Here we go. Michael has got Domination, Peril, Revelation. You must decide. Choose one. Place 1 doom on the current agenda, and that can cause it to advance. Each investigator discards 2 cards from their hand. Each investigator loses 1 action. Each investigator loses 1 action. Investigator phase. Okay, right. First action from Agatha, or second action, should I say. She is going to do the spend 2 clues. To draw the top 5 cards of this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and we're looking for glyphs. There's a terror, there's a monster, there's an omen, there is a glyph, and there's a hazard. So what happens? Discard the top 5 cards, which is what we do. So those 3 go. Draw 1 glyph. So this one says, if the treachery is drawn from the encounter discard pile, attach it to your location. Otherwise, discard it and insert. So I gain this. I think we ignore that bit because it's not a revelation. Test will 3. That's an action. So I've got this. I've drawn it. But I do draw this omen as well. Test will 3. If this investigator has translated 10 or more glyphs, no, it doesn't. You must either shuffle 1 glyph card in play into the encounter deck or take 1 direct horror and discard 1 card at random from your hand. So we are 4 versus 3. 4 versus 3. I will chuck a higher education in to make me 5 versus 3. Oh, no, hang on. I would have taken an attack of opportunity for doing that. So I'm down to 5. Down to 5. 5 versus 3. -2. We pass. So my second action was to spend the clues. I forgot about this bloody thing here. Coral Star Spawn. Third action is to try and evade the Colossal Tyrant. I'm 3, but I will be playing a Promise of Power. Doing an evade, so I don't get an attack of opportunity from the Coral Star Spawn. I've got to add a curse token into there. So I'm now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 3 against the Colossal Tyrant. 8 versus 3. -1. We pass. We evade the Colossal Tyrant. And that's it for Agatha. At the end of my turn, I've got no cards in hand. So Drawn to Darkness goes. Whew. Right, Michael. Michael, for his second action. Oh, no, let's draw our cards. Forgot about that. So we've got a Thompson or an automatic. Ooh. That's very handy. I'll take the Thompson. I'll get rid of the automatic. I'm paying 1 for that, taking me down to 5. Two-handed. I'll save that for the time being. Second action. Second action. Engage the star spawn off of Agatha. Third action. Shoot with the Derringer. I get my resource. That's the first time I've done it this turn. +2 fight. So we're 7 versus 3. I will play a quick thinking to make me 8 versus 3. Eight versus 3. Oh, knew it was in there somewhere. We fail. All of our plans are out of the window. We don't get quick thinking. Never mind. Never mind. That was his third action. We're in a little bit of trouble, methinks. Not too bad, but it's getting a bit choky. Okay. Enemy phase. This one's aloof, so we don't need to worry about it. This one's exhausted. We don't need to worry about it. We've got the cold star spawn here. He's going to hit me for 1, or Michael for 1. 1 damage. Boom. Down to 7. When the enemy phase ends, if there are no investigators at its location, there are investigators at its location, so we don't need to worry about that. We go to the upkeep phase. We reset our actions. We gain a resource. Agatha's up to 9. Michael's up to 7. We draw a card. Michael gets a Joey the Rat Vigil. Agatha gets a mouse mask. Okay, that's quite good. You ready? A Colossal Tyrant. Nothing else to ready there. All good. Mythos phase. 1 of 8 on the agenda. Agatha is going to get a court keeper. If the investigators have translated 10 or more glyphs, then it gains alert and retaliate. Just make sure I haven't done 10 or more. I don't think I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. When you defeat this enemy, we get to discover this glyph that is engaged with Agatha. Running out. Don't have a lot of space. Michael is going to get infected. We've seen infected before. We know what that does. Yeah, that's frustrating. Investigator phase. Not doing damage to that last time has really hurt me. Michael is going to go first. Michael's going to go first. We draw our underworld card. We've got the Viola case or the liquid courage. We'll take the Viola case, which is very handy. That goes back to the bottom. That costs us 1, down to 6. I will pay 4, taking me down to 2. I've got fence in place, so I'm going to exhaust fence. Ah, no. Back up to 6. Hang on a sec. The automatic is not illicit. The Thompson is illicit. The Thompson is illicit. But it will replace the Derringer at the moment. All right, let's try this. I'm going to spend 5, taking me down to 1, to replace the Derringer with the Thompson. I'm exhausting fence, which means this gains fast. Doesn't cost me an action, doesn't provoke. Attacks of opportunity. Comes in with 5 ammo. Five. Derringer's gone. I'm then going to fight with the Thompson. I will gain a resource for that. First time I've done it this turn. +2 fight and deals +1 damage for this attack. If you succeed by at least X, you may spend 1 ammo to deal this attack's damage to another enemy at your location, where X is that enemy's fight value. It's a risk. So I am 7 versus 3. Seven versus 3. Do I play the Viola case? Yeah, 8 versus 3. 9 versus 3 because it's got a wild symbol on it as well. 9 versus 3. Nine versus 3. -2. 7 versus 3. So that does 2 damage to the Coral Star Spawn. And I will spend an ammo to do that to the Court Keeper. Because I beat it by 4 and its fight value is 3. So I do 2 damage to that as well. That was my first proper action. Second action, fight again with the Thompson. Nothing to chuck into it now, so it is 7 versus 3. Seven versus 3. -1. 6 versus 3. We do 2 damage to the Coral Star Spawn, so that's now 4. I will spend the ammo to do the additional attack to another enemy at my location. I beat it by 3, that's fight value is a 3. So I kill the Court Keeper. Victory 1. Thank you very much. Third action. Shoot the Thompson at the Coral Star Spawn. 7 versus 3. Seven versus 3. -2. 5 versus 3. We win. We do +2 damage. We kill it. We kill it. Victory 1. Thank you very much. And that is Michael done. I'll exhaust that because I'm sure I won by, yeah, I definitely did by 2. Draw a card. Lucky cigarette case. At the end of my turn, at a location with another investigator, which I am, or a stowaway enemy, place 1 doom on infected. So I need to remember 1 doom is on infected. That's it for Michael. He fought. Agatha's turn. First thing she's got to do is try and evade the Colossal Tyrant. She is... It's really important I do this. I don't really want to do it, but I can only... Oh, I can only... Right, so think this through. I'm evaded 3. It's 3. Michael can chuck 1 card in, so he'll chuck Joey the rat, which has got an agility symbol. So I'm 4 versus 3. All I can do, 4 versus 3. Got to do it. 4 versus 3. Four versus 3. -1. We get it. Tyrant is exhausted. Evaded. That was her first action. Second action. Well, Joey the rat's gone. Let's have a crack at deciphering this glyph. Let's have a crack at deciphering this glyph. 4 versus 3 at the moment. Five versus 3 with the mouse mask. Michael can chuck a card in to help, so it's 6 versus 3. 6 versus 3. Six versus 3. Oh. Oh. Annoying. Third action. 4 versus 3. 4 versus 3. That's all I can do. There's no point in getting any more glyphs out, really, while I've got this one in place. So 4 versus 3. -1 or better. Hey! Auto fail followed by that one. I'm not going to cancel it. I'll keep that. Which means we pass. +2. We get to record this one. We are now 10 glyphs. Where's that little sign? God, they're really difficult to make. There it is. That one there is life. Yeah, it's that one. Life. That goes in the victory display. Boom. That was my third action. Okay. We've got 2 glyphs in. Got 5 clues. 6 clues. Ooh. Okay. Might as well have a crack at it. Right. Okay. Enemy phase. Starspawn observer is aloof. Everything else has been killed. We go to the upkeep phase. We get our actions back. We ready any exhausted cards. So lucky cigarette case and fence come back online. Gonna have to ready up the tyrant. We gain a resource, so I'm now 11 resources with Agatha, who's got 0 blinking cards to do. Michael gets up to 3. He draws a card. He gets a where's the party. Not great. Agatha gets a promise of power. Exhausty. Lovely. But we need her to be moving along. Anyway, getting ahead of myself. We go to the mythos phase. We put 2 of 8 on here. We draw a card for Agatha. She gets a cosmic omen. Test will 3. We have now translated 10 or more glyphs, so it's now will 5. Let's do that. Will 5. 5 versus 4. I'm not using promise of power. So 5 versus 4. I need +1. +1's the only one in here that's going to help. -2. We fail. If you fail, you must either shuffle 1 glyph card in play into the encounter card deck. We're not going to do that. Or take 1 direct horror and discard 1 card at random from your hand. Oh. I think these a victory display they considered in play. Bear with. No, by the looks of it, they are considered out of play. So I am going to have to take 1 direct horror. So I'm down to 5. And I'm going to have to discard 1 card at hand. Oh, promise of power has gone. Michael is going to get drawn to darkness. That's going to be difficult for Michael. No, not really. Right, investigator's turn. We need to try and evade 4 health. It's got 8 health left. It's got 8 health left. Oh, let me decide who's going first. 3 versus 3. Four versus 3, 5 versus 3. I think it's going to have to be Michael. Michael's going to go first, which means he's going to draw his 2 cards from his Underworld deck. He's got a Chicago typewriter or a 25 automatic. He will take the Chicago typewriter and lose a resource. He can't play it yet, but it's there for the future. So first action for Michael is to try and keep on top of this colossal tyrant. He's going to invade it. He's 3-4 with Ruby. He's going to play his automatic to make it 5. And then he's going to play his where's the party to make it 6. 6 versus 3. Six versus 3. -1. We evade it. 6 versus 3 -1. We will exhaust our lucky cigarette case to draw a card. We're going to get an automatic. Very nice. Okay. I think we could get ready to start thinking about killing the colossal tyrant. He's got 2 actions left. He's going to spend both actions to get 2 resources, taking him to 4. And that's Michael done. At the end of his turn, he is in an area with another investigator. So we're going to put Doom. So we're now at 4 of 8. I need to remember that. But we can try and get rid of that in a bit. That is it for Michael. First action for Agatha. This is still aloof. We didn't need to worry about it. We've not drawn any tokens, Elder Sign tokens. So Agatha's going to move across to this crumbling archive. 3 shrouds, 2 clues. When you discard 1 or more cards from the top of the encounter deck, take 1 direct horror. Discard 3 additional cards from the top. When you discard 1 or more cards from the top of the encounter deck, take 1 direct horror. Discard 3 additional cards from the top of the encounter deck. Okay. Second action, she's going to use her fingerprint kit to investigate. Seven versus 3. 4, 5, 6, 7 with the magnifying glass. 7 versus 3. -3. 7 versus 3, -3. We still pass. If you succeed to discover 2 additional clues, we'll get both clues off that. Which will use the last Plumb the Depths. Third action, she's going to spend 2 clues. She will take 1 direct horror to do the ring library, to discard an additional 3 cards. So she's down to 4 sanity. Ooh. But she's going to be discarding 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're looking for glyphs and omens. Oh, there's an omen. There's a terror. There's a monster. There's a power. There's a power. There's a hazard. There's an omen. And there's a hazard. Bloody Nora. Seriously? Hazard, hazard, power, power, monster, terror. I've drawn 2 omens though. God. Both cosmic omens. So first test. Test 3 with 4. Michael can't help us, he's not. So it's 4 versus 3. Four versus 3. -2. So we fail. We take 1 direct horror, down to 3. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. And discard 1 card from random in your hand. Can't do that. Second one. 4 versus 3. -2. We fail. Down to 2. That's changing the game a little bit. That is changing the game a little bit. Have I got the sanity? Have I got the sanity to get down to the... I've got 6 clues. We still haven't found the 3rd glyph. Yeah, these aren't glyphs, are they? They're star spawn. Oh, no. Court keeper is a glyph. We've got 3 glyphs. What am I doing? Oh, you such a plonker, MB. We've got 3 glyphs. Didn't need to do that. But we need 2 more clues. We need 2 more clues. Right. Okay. That's the end of the turn for Agatha. Monster phase, we're all good. Still aloof. Exhausted. Upkeep phase, we get our actions back. We get lucky cigarette case back on. We had cards in our hand for Drawn to Darkness. Okay, we gain a resource. Agatha's now at 12. Michael's at 5. Michael gains a card. He's got contraband. Handy for later. Agatha gets deduction. Okay. We're all good for card hand sizes. We're all good. We go to the mythos phase. We're now 5 of 8. That needs to go. 5 of 8. We draw a mythos card for Agatha. She draws Ancient Vault. If it's drawn from the account, it's going to go in search. Cthulhu for tagging. Test fight 3. If you fail, you must take 2 horror or deal 1 direct damage to an investigator at your location. Okay. Okay, I can handle that. To an investigator. Okay, so test fight 3. I'm 1. I'm 1. One -2. We fail. If you fail, you must either take 2 horror or deal 1 direct damage to an investigator at your location. I am an investigator at my location, so I'll take 1 direct horror and 1 direct damage, down to 4. Michael, tortured visions. Will 3. This gets +2 difficulty if you have 3 or fewer cards in your hand. We've got 3. If you fail, take 1 direct horror and discard 1 card at random from your hand. Ugh. It's 3 versus 3. No, I'm going 3 versus 3. There's no point. 3 versus 3. 3 versus 3, +2. Excellent. And we get to place an ammo. We'll put an ammo onto the Thompson. Boom. Oh, wowzers. We go to the investigators phase. Oh, should have readied that bad boy. Need to get rid of infected. Can't get rid of infected whilst I'm engaged with the colossal tyrant. Otherwise I'll be taking attacks of opportunity. First things first. I'm going to exhaust fence to play my Chicago typewriter, replacing the Thompson. It is an illicit weapon, so it comes in fast. Comes in with 4 ammo. I'm thinking I'm running out of things to evade this thing with. Agatha's just not got any cards this game. Right. So 3 damage. First action for Michael is to fight with the Chicago typewriter. I'm 5, 6, 7. 7 versus 3. Seven versus 3. -1. We hit it. 6 versus 3. It does +2 damage. So we do 3 damage to it. We were successful by more than 2. And I get a resource as well. First time I've spent one for Michael. We're drawing a card for Lucky Cigarette Case. We're getting a liquid courage. Okay. Okay. Second action. We're going to fight with the Chicago typewriter. 5, 6, 7 versus 3. -2, -4 if there is a stowaway enemy. There's no stowaway enemy there, so we win. 7 versus 3, -2, 5 versus 3, we win. Does +2 damage. We do 3 damage to it. Last action. Fight the colossal tyrant. 7 versus 3. 0. We've done it. 3 damage. We killed it. 12 health. Boom. In the victory pile you go, young man. That's it for Michael. Well done, Michael. Well done, that man. Drawn to darkness, we can't get rid of because we've still got 3 cards. Nothing we can do about that, but we've got 3, which is our maximum hand size. We can't do anything about infected, but after you end your turn at your location with another investigator, which we're not, and there's no stowaway enemy there, place 1 doom, so we don't have to place a doom onto infected. Right, okay. We go on to Agatha's turn. She is going to move to the Great Lift for her first action. Second action, she's going to try and investigate the Great Lift. She is 5 versus 2. Five versus 2. 5 versus 2. How many glyphs? There's 3 glyphs, isn't there? There's 3 in there. And what the Colossal Tyrant isn't 1. 1, 2, 3. We've got the 3. 5 versus 2 minus 3 is 2. So we're successful. But rather than doing that, we will slide this up to level 3. Her third action is she's going to move to this crumbling archives here. Wow. 6 clues. Six clues. Shroud of 2. And it's got forced. When the investigation phase ends, if there are clues on Luminous Archives, shuffle each glyph treachery attached to this location into the encounter deck. 2 actions, search the encounter discard pile for a glyph and draw it. Ah, that's how you get that ancient one. Okay, gotcha. All right. That's it for Agatha. Michael's still in the lift. Enemy phase. Nothing to worry about. This is still aloof. We go to the upkeep phase. We get our actions back. Agatha gets 13 resources. Michael's now at 7. Michael draws a card. He gets a Robert Castaigne. Agatha gets a magnifying glass. Okay. Why not? And then we go to the mythos phase. We put 6 of 8 onto the agenda. If we don't get rid of that, we're done. Have I got enough actions? Let's worry about that in a sec. We'll draw an encounter card. Agatha gets a court keeper. Oh, okay. Got relentless. That comes in engaged with Agatha. Michael gets another infected. We don't need to worry about that because you can only have one and it hasn't got surge. Should have had surge already, that card, but there you go. Hasn't. Investigator phase. Oh, should have readied those. That's back on. +2 damage, so that's 3. I could punch it. First, well, let's start with Michael. Let's start with Michael. Your top 2 cards. We've got a Thompson, or we've got an automatic. Don't need either of those at the moment, I don't think. First thing he's going to do, first action, is try to get rid of this infected. Will 3. I'm 3. I'll chuck a liquid courage in to make it 4. I'll chuck a contraband in to make it 5. 5 versus 3. Ah. Oh. Oh God. Right, that's causing some problems. So 5 versus 3 minus 4. That's a problem. We fail. If you fail, take 1 damage. If you succeed, discard infected. So we take a damage down to 6. Starspawn Observer. When you reveal... Oh no, while investigating. When you reveal an elder sign while investigating Starspawn's location, it engages you and makes an immediate attack. Okay, we don't need to worry about that. Whew, I thought that was a problem. We still haven't got rid of infected. Second action to move across. Third action to engage the court keeper. Ah, no, hang on. I'll exhaust Ruby to move, which still gives me 1 action left. Oh no, there are already enemies at my location. Even though it's aloof, it's still a ready enemy. So that's all of my actions. Agatha. First action to play the magnifying glass, replacing the fingerprint kit. Second action to investigate, and she will play a deduction. So she's 4 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 2. 8 versus 2. Plus 2. Oh, now this is a choice. Insight. Try to see if anything. No, I'm not going to bother. There's nothing worth it there. So I will stick with that, plus 2. So we're successful. And we definitely succeed by 2 or more. So we get 3 clues because we get right. So we get 1 for the success. Discover 1 additional clue, 2 additional clues if it exceeds otherwise. So we get 3 clues in total. So we've got 8 there if we need them. That was her second action. Her third action, might as well investigate. 6 versus 2. 6 versus 2. Minus 2, there's no stowaways there. We get another clue. So we've got 6, 9, 10 clues. We need 8 over here, so we've got 2 clues we can get further down. But this is causing a problem. I don't think I've got enough actions left now. If I don't get rid of this, and I've got nothing there that can help, I'm going 3 versus 3. Agatha's got nothing in her arsenal. There we go. Right. That's it for Agatha. We go to the enemy phase. I'm going to be hit by the court keeper for 1 and 1. Down to 5 health and 4 sanity. Boom, boom. I will. Obviously, that's the end of the enemy phase. Go to the upkeep phase. We ready to get our actions back. Ready any exhausted cards. We gain a resource. Agatha's up to 14. Michael's up to 8. Michael draws a card. He gets quick thinking. Agatha gets ocular. Too late, I think. Too late. If I could get rid of this. Anywho, right. Mythos phase. We're now at 7 of 8. 7 of 8. So they've moved up once. I should have taken an agility test. Let me do that now for here. I've moved up once. So agility 2 versus 3. -3, we failed. Take a damage. Should have done that. Down to 3. Same for Michael. 3 versus 2. Yay! We'll put that on there. And he passes. Doesn't take any damage. Should have done that earlier. Apologies. Right. Mythos card. Agatha. Drawn to darkness. She's got 1 card in her hand. Michael is going to get Crumbling Masonry. Test agility X, where X is your location's printed shroud. If you fail, you take 2 damage. Okay. So 2 versus 3. 2 versus 3. I'll play a swift thinking to make it 4 versus 2. 4 versus 2. -2. So we need the +1 now. We need the +1. +2. You may place an ammo on a firearm. Boom. Chicago typewriters back up to 3 ammo. That curse token goes. That goes back in the bag. Quick thinking. Now, if this skill test is successful by 2 or more, which it is, because I was 3, that's 4, 5, 6 from the elder sign, and the shroud is 2, so we won by 4. After it resolves, you may immediately take an action as if it was your turn. Boom. We will do that, and we will shoot the court keeper. So fight 3, 5, 6, 7. We'll chuck a Robert Castaigne in to make it 8. 8 versus 3. 8 versus 3. -1. +2 damage. Does 3 damage to the court keeper. Very nice. How'd you like those apples? Investigator phase. Right, let's just work this out. I've currently got 8, 9, 10 clues. I need to succeed at least. Well, we could go down here. I'm thinking Agatha now. We could have a go at succeeding there. She's now 6 versus 2. Moves down there for the first investigate. That's her first action. That's her first action. Her second action. Oh no, she moves down. Actually, she then spends 2 clues to take it down to here. She's got 2 actions left. One action to move here. And then she could spend her 8 clues as a group. Oh no, here. Oh, Michael's got to be there as well. That's annoying. Michael's got to be there as well. He's only got one clue. So he can't, if she spends her 2 clues, she's only got 7 left. Which means she hasn't got the 8 to get into the altar. This infected has caused me a problem. I've lost 2 turns. I think it's time to get out. We've got a fair amount of stuff there. I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out. So, first action, Michael. Let's draw his underworld. He's got a liquid courage or an automatic. Doesn't need either of those, so they can go to the bottom. First action, he'll use his Chicago typewriter to shoot the court keeper. So he's 5, 6, 7. Seven versus 3. -1. We do more than enough damage to kill it. Another victory point. Because I spent a resource, because I'll do that. I spent a firearm resource, I'll get that. We were successful by more than 2. We'll do lucky cigarette, or do we do lucky cigarette case? Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. That's only reducing it by 3. We'll draw a card. Accursed follower is going to go down here in the altar. He's going to go down there. Made my mind up now. So that's my first action. Second action is to move into the lift. Third and final action, we're going to have a go at getting rid of the infected. But it is a straight 3 versus 3. A straight 3 versus 3. It really doesn't want me to get rid of that infected. Fail. So that's it for Michael. Agatha's go. First action. We'll spend 3, taking me down to 11 resources to play the ocular. Just because. Drawn to darkness. Second action, to move into the Great Lift. Naturally, I'm not going to play the ocular. There's no point. There's no point. It's my first action. I'm playing safe now. First action is to move into the lift. Second action is to investigate the lift. So 4, 5, 6 against 2. 6 against 2. -0. So we get to move the lift up. I'll move that underneath. So Great Lift moves up to the top. Third action, to move into the twisting catwalks. Flip that over. It's got Shroud of 3, 2 clues per investigator. After an enemy at twisting catwalks deals damage and or horror to you, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. After you defeat an enemy at this location, discard the top X cards in the encounter deck, where X is the enemy's printed health. Draw 1 glyph and discard card discarded by this effect. So that's it for Agatha. Oh no! Oh no! 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 I just realised I've lost it. Ah, bugger! I haven't got enough. Oh well. Didn't quite make it. Anyway, let's carry on. So frustrating now. Nothing I could do about it. Getting rid of that. Not getting rid of that was the problem. Anyway. Right. So enemy phase. No enemies in play. Apart from the star spawn, which is aloof. We go to upkeep phase. We get our actions back. Gain a resource. Michael's now at 10. Agatha's now at 15. We draw a card. Agatha gets Eyes of the Dreamer. Michael gets Opportunist. We go to the Mythos phase. We put 1 on there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We flip the agenda. Frustratingly. So the tower shudders as all of Rylea continues to ascend. Ancient symbols on the court walls flash with blinding bright intensity. In your momentary blindness, you catch glimpses of blasphemous hulking shapes of ancient creatures of what looks like a familiar black sanded beach. An emerald sun reflects on oily black water of a distant alien shore. Every fibre of your being screams in protest as the sheer volume of history within the tower surges into your pitiful small mind all at once. Before you know it, you collapse on the stone floor and slip into a dark, restless slumber. Each investigator who has not resigned is defeated and suffers 1 mental trauma. Wow. So, Agatha's now got 2 mental trauma. Michael's got 1 mental trauma. And 1 physical trauma. I don't think we've got... Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. So, if no resolution was reached, each investigator resigned or was defeated. The rest of the expedition tell you they found you standing at the edge of the towering climb as if sleepwalking. You rub your eyes, you have no memory of the alien court, and given that it's almost entirely collapsed, you never will. Update your campaign log, cross out Court and the Ancients. Court of the Ancients. There we go. Cross that out, that's there. If the shard was under the control, it doesn't. Each investigator earns experience equal to victory X in the card display. So we've got quite a bit there actually. We didn't do too bad. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 victory points. So that means that Agatha's got 7 to spend and Michael has got 6 to spend. And then we're going to head west to the Obsidian Canyons. There we go. Well, actually, I don't think being defeated was too bad because it was pretty much the same as resigning, but we just take the trauma for it. I was hoping, I thought at one point I might be able to get down there, but anyway, there we go. Another scenario down, and we're on to the Obsidian Fortress. We're going to spend some lovely earned XP though. This is going to be good. Hope you enjoyed it, and we're now knocking on for about probably nearly 3 hours actually with the intro, so that's enough. I'm off for a doner kebab. Anyway, you tell half an hour and you'll take care. Cheers.